For a while, I was thinking that multitasking, being able to multitask, is my superpower. I was very good at it. Until I realized that I'm not. Until I realized that I cannot multitask. And all this pushing on us thought that human brain is able to do it, well, in my opinion, is not. Is a myth. You might not agree with me. That's okay. You might think you are great at multitasking. That's okay. I will tell you my experience. For a long time, I was thinking, I can attend meeting, do my work as a programmer, and at the same time, check my notifications to respond to any messages, check my email, do plenty other things. Where, obviously, from the meeting, as long as someone didn't actually ask me a question, I have no idea what was going there. Maybe 10% of it, maybe even less. With my work, if I didn't focus completely on my programming task, I was just like, crap at this. Task that I normally do in like 10, 15 minutes took me 2-3 hours sometimes. All this makes me realize that, like I say, in my case, and I believe in plenty other people as well, but that's just my opinion, this multitasking isn't real. It's just rapid task switching. That's how I will call it. And to be honest, in my opinion, it's just wrecking your focus. Nothing else. There are some research done by scientists that you actually doing this task switching, you are 40% slower, you doubles your mistake, your brain powers actually burn faster, so you're coming to the burnout faster. And how many times after a day, that kind of hustle bustle day, you actually feel that you haven't done anything, you are exhausted, and you feel unproductive? How many times did this happen to you? Because for me, that happened nearly every day. But I discovered this recently when I was more aware of what is going on around me. And when I actually get mad and, to be honest, pissed off because I was dragged to another meeting that was pointless for me, and at the same time I was requested to quickly do my job because it was some kind of disaster that I had to prevent. So all that busyness, all this busy thinking is actually not equal productive. That's what I find out on my example. And that's what I observe recently in other people's lives as well. You're not getting more. You're not getting done more. And this is what makes you feel overwhelmed. I felt this way a few times. Well, I felt more times, but I'm aware of this. I became aware of this actually recently. When you start using the power of single task, on fully focusing on one single task, you will notice how fast you go through it. You notice that you retain the information, you memorize them, instead of just repeating. And like in my case, when I was doing multitasking, I had to search for the same information about some simple thing Plenty of times. 3, 4, 5 times. Sometimes even more. Also, when you start single tasking, you will feel less overwhelmed. You'll be more focused. How many times you have heard about state of flow? Do you think that state of flow will happen when you task switching or multitasking, if you want to call it this way? No, everyone who's telling you that was having this state of flow, when your work is just smoothly going forward and you even notice what's going on around you, how time flies. This is always one single task when you fully focus on it. So I would like you to think for a second and think about that kind of question. What if I will choose one task today that I give my 100% undivided attention? What if I try? I disconnect from any distraction and I give full attention to this task, full focus. Are you eager to try? I challenge you. I challenge you to do it. You might want to use a few techniques for that kind of single tasking. First of all, schedule a block of times, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Depends how you feel. For me, it's roughly around 30, 40 minutes, depending on the task, how big is the task. If it's bigger, if it needs more time, then I have few blocks. But I'm trying not to go over 40 minutes because usually my tasks are not taking more than this. So set that kind of block, set timer for yourself and focus solely on this one task. That's the first tip. The second tip, if you have few tasks that can be combined, like emails, answering emails, do them in batch. Instead of checking your email box, if you're working in some office or your work depends on emails, instead of checking it every hour or every few minutes, set a time, 3 times a day. This is my time for checking in emails and answering them. That's it. Believe me, nothing happens if you don't respond immediately. Nothing. I remember the history about Napoleon Bonaparte, who has the rule that he was answering his letters day after he received them. He was reading and answered them day after. And usually what he discovered after this one day of that gap, he didn't actually have to do anything because the person who was asking him questions already figured out what had to be done. Simple as that. You can use this as well. Well, maybe not like one day rule, but why not? Why not have like 3 times a day the time scheduled for your email answering or making calls back to back? Before you start switching from one task to another, before you do this, so your block pass this 20 minutes, 40 or whatever you set yourself, and now you finish your task, you have to go to another one. First of all, ask yourself question, is this actually necessary? The switching tasks, or every time when you want to switch a task, ask yourself, is this really necessary, or are you trying to avoid something? Some hard task, harder work. A few times I've noticed that's what I was doing. The whole multitasking. This task is so hard. Maybe I will check my notification, my email. How many of you done this? So ask yourself, pause and ask yourself, is it necessary or I'm avoiding something? Another challenge for you, just for tomorrow, decide that you will have 1 hour no distraction or distraction-free work. Put all phones, all emails, all notifications on silence, out as far as from your place as you can, and for 1 hour, just 1 hour, focus on your work. Because if you stop switching and start focusing on your task, you see how fast and how productive you actually can be. Try it out. And from this place, as always, I wish you many blessings.